Hi everyone. So today we're going to be talking about why twins run. I am not going to go through again and reiterate why I have the information that I have to speak out on this subject. So what I'm going to do for you all is I'm going to link in the description box as well as the comment section other videos that I've made on this topic so you can kind of see, why I am, able to speak out on this topic and why I know what I know. Now, I do want to first and foremost say that yours truly, yes, yours truly did run. Okay, so I am admitting that today. And I also feel like that's why I'm able to speak out on this subject. The other thing I want to say as well is that you need to put out of your head that there was something about you that caused this person to run. It had nothing to do with you. When twins run from each other, they're really running from themselves. They're not running from you. So do not take anything personal. Okay, that's very important. So let's dive in. Reason number one, why does a twin run from, themselves and also, their other twin, okay? The frequency that each twin carries is extremely, that in itself is something that needs adjusting, okay? It can be alarming, it can be a tower moment. I was around mine for 6 months, and no matter how many times I saw them, it was always a tower moment, and I couldn't handle it. I could not handle it. I'm telling you, my body would overheat. My body would start running, like my actual body would start running. And it's like I didn't want to run in my head, but my body would run. It was just like an instinct. I could not take this other person's frequency, okay? I do talk a lot about frequency in my other videos. Go check those out again. But this is mainly a big, huge reason. I'm starting with a big one for number one as to why a twin runs is because they cannot take your frequency. They can't handle it. When people are talking about how much they've experienced with theirs, initially I scratch my head. I really do, because I don't even know how it got to that point. I literally could not speak words. This person also could not speak words. They were blocked constantly, choking, excusing themselves. It was very difficult. The connection itself is very mesmerizing. It's polarizing, for goodness sakes. So that energy between the two, the connection itself, the way it feels, that has, that takes a lot of adjusting to. And for some people, for some twins, they just cannot handle it. It's just, again, it's uncomfortable. Like I said, my body, my body was reacting. I was overheating. I couldn't speak. I couldn't even think straight, okay? I didn't really like to see myself like that. And that could be also another reason why a twin runs, is because they don't want to see themselves in that situation where they're just not in control. I mean, who would, right? So that is a reason why a twin will run, whether they run all the way away from you or, just out of the room, it's the same thing. Now, the other reason why a twin will run is kind of linked to the first, but usually right before you meet your twin, you're not exactly who you really are authentically. There's a lot of barriers that need to come down, but usually the twins, when they meet, they're performing on a level that is somewhat fake. And I was very fake when I met mine, in the sense of, just this very social butterfly, outgoing, loud. And I couldn't be like that around mine. That person could see right through me. And that, even talking about it, I'm getting choked up because it's very scary for a twin to feel when, or even a person in general, when you can see right through their BS, So for me, I didn't like that as well too. And that's why I say it's kind of linked to the first one. I was not able to be myself, and I just I was very uncomfortable with that. And I didn't want to be the way that I was. I wanted to be the other way that I was, which was fake. But I could not be that way with them. It was just not going to work on them or with them or around them. The other reason a twin runs, you get to a point, you know, where you start to get this intuition like it's time to go. Nothing is working out, nothing. Not even, in my case, an ability to be able to speak to each other. And again, it just, you know, it's filled with awkwardness. But you get this intuition, at least that's what I got, where it's time to go. It's time to move on. And you don't necessarily know that you have work to do, but you know it's time to go. It's time to leave. And I did hear that, you know, and that was a part of letting go. But if it was meant to be, you know, it would be. But for now, I gotta go. I got things to do. I gotta take care of things. Nothing I feel like is happening, and I don't think it will. So the only choice I have is to leave. So when your person is leaving or they are, you know, running from you, there could be something positive within that, where the person has a lot of work to do. They know it spiritually and intuitively, and they're not going to be able to do that while they're around you. The twin flame experience is just too intense. There's no way I would have been able to focus on myself if that person was in my vicinity, my environment, my physical environment, with even the little amount that they were there, okay? Because I didn't see mine often, but even with that limited interaction, I just could not focus on myself. So this is another reason I feel like why, you know, I ran, and also why the twin runs. So these are mainly the two reasons, actually kind of three reasons why I ran. Was I couldn't handle the frequency. Okay, the frequency was just, you know, of that person was just too intense. I felt like I couldn't be myself. I didn't like the way I felt in the interactions. They were, you know, too awkward for me. Not only that, you lose a sense of control, and I also was not comfortable with that. And then also as well too, there's an intuition that kicks in somehow, where you just know like it's time to go. And I want to say that if you are on the receiving end of that, where someone has left you, allow them to leave. You know, this is not even going to be a twin flame connection if you don't have unconditional love. So if that person needs to go and they don't want to talk to you, or they don't want anything to do with you or have anything to say to you, you need to let them go. That is part of unconditional love. And, you know, you can pray that, you know, if it's meant to be, it will be. But please also have faith that there's no mistakes on this journey, and how it played out for you is exactly how it's supposed to play out. There's no mistakes. And don't put a burden on yourself that there was something that you could have done. There was nothing that you could have done. And divine timing is at work. It's at play here. And that's the only, you know, thing that you can rely on. It's not going to be you controlling it or your other person controlling it or manipulating it. It will come together when it's supposed to come together. So I really hope that this video gave you some sort of closure with this, because I know a lot of people, it's very hard to deal with that, you know, when a twin runs, you know. But you will get through it, like I always say. Just shift the focus on yourself. That's what it's about. And do your work, and you will see relief. Take care, guys.